Welcome back to the Soul Talk podcast, where we explore the space between movement meets meaning, one step at a time. Hey, I'm Marybeth Hrim. I'm a therapist, coach, and someone who's learned sometimes the hard way that healing doesn't just happen when we push. It actually happens when we pause, which really is a very difficult thing to do, especially if you're an athlete. So, welcome. I'm really excited for you to be here. And let's talk a little bit about, about rest today. So, today in our Move with Intention series, we're going to explore one of the most misunderstood aspects of movement. And like I said a few seconds ago, rest is probably the most important aspect of movement, but it's also misunderstood. It doesn't actually mean to be sitting around doing nothing. But today we're going to talk about rest. Rest isn't weakness. What is rest? Rest is a movement in a softer form. It's really turning inward. It's a wise surrender, a way forward. But let's really be honest here. Rest is hard. I know it is for me. We live in this culture that really praises hustle and glorifies exhaustion and tells us, we have to earn our rest. But how many times have you heard or said, I'll rest when I'm done? I'll sleep when I'm dead, or I just need to get through this week. You see, rest becomes the reward for suffering instead of being a part of the rhythm that sustains us. Rest is so important. And for women especially, for caregivers, for professionals, for athletes, we carry the story that we must always be doing, proving, and producing. But I want to offer something radical today. What if rest isn't something that you earn, but something that you honor? And it's really about honoring your body, honoring yourself. I want to tell you a story, something that I've been going through lately in the last month. I've been training for this 15K that's supposed to be on Sunday. It's called the Boilermaker 15K up in Utica, New York. And I've been training for this for quite a while, for months. What happened was about a month ago, ironically on Global Running Day, I was on my treadmill instead of out at the track because it was storming out. So I thought, well, I'll get my miles in on the treadmill. So I got on the treadmill and I lost my footing and I literally went flying off. I hit both of my knees, I hit my elbow, hit my shoulder. And ever since then, I've been a mess. So it's been about 5 weeks. And then about 2 weeks ago, I had went out for, a little bit of a run. Got maybe about a mile and a half in, started hurting, and came in and I was really stiff and sore and tripped over my dog and hyperextended my leg again. You see, I didn't really get enough rest. I didn't get enough recovery time. And that's been really hard for me to not get out and run and not train. So long story short, I have had to cancel the race and hoping to rehab this. And so the hardest thing for us to do is to stop, is to rest, is to recover. Because we don't get enough recovery time. The hardest part is to hold ourselves back. So I did skip some of those rest days. I kept telling myself that I was fine, that I was strong. But my body really started to speak. Sleep became harder. My legs really got heavy. Those aches and pains from that nagging injury. All the limping around, ignoring it. And still I pushed because I thought slowing down meant that I was going to fall behind. Now, I have several races that I need to train for come this fall. So I need the time to recover. I need the time to rest. And it does not look like really just sitting around on an ice pack all day. It walking around. It is getting on a stationary bike, but it's not pushing myself. So I was not only physically, but emotionally, it just broke down. And sometimes it's not really from the pain. It was just really just my entire body was just depleted. And I don't need a better training plan. I just needed to give myself permission to stop going, going, going. So the moment that I changed that, the moment that I really made that decision to rest and scheduled in all of that rest days, I'm starting to feel a little bit better. Doesn't mean that I'm fully healed yet, but I'm getting there because I can do certain movements. I can walk. I can ride the stationary bike. I can do strength training. So it's really all of that. And also to just sort of rest and recover your body. So let's talk about the body. Because when we rest, our bodies actually activate the parasympathetic nervous system, which we call rest and digest. Our heart rate slows down, cortisol levels drop, our digestion improves, and the inflammation decreases. Because when you're going, like what I was doing, thinking that I have to train, I have to keep going, the inflammation just kept increasing into where I was really tight. But also your muscles start to repair, your tendons strengthen, and the brain processes and stores memories. Even if it's just 10 minutes of just true rest can lower your blood pressure, can reduce your anxiety. It can restore your focus. Not a luxury, it's biology. Rest is how we heal. We have to rest in order to heal. Rest doesn't just mean lying still, though sometimes it may be. But there's active rest. Again, a walk without tracking your pace. Because it's always that we always want to go faster. We want to increase that pace. The slower you go, the better you feel. And eventually, once you get to where you're fully recovered, that pace comes back. Could also be a yoga flow where you breathe instead of bend. Something light. A bath, maybe an ice bath. A nap. There's been studies on naps to where even if it's just 15 to 30 minutes, it really restores your energy levels and it helps the healing process. Also, a slow meal. Eating slow really helps with digestion. There's mental rest. And that's something I think that a lot of us really need right now. Turning off the phone, unplugging from any expectations, text messages, emails, whatever it is, letting yourself just stop. Stop solving anything. Stop fixing. Stop planning. And then there's soul rest. The kind of deep exhale when you feel safe inside of yourself. And you feel enough just to be you. That's really important. A lot of us don't really know who we are. And we need to do a lot of that soul searching to find who we are. So here's what I've learned. The deeper the movement in your life, whether grief, growth, or challenge, the more rest we need. Rest doesn't slow your momentum. It actually gives it meaning. So let's try something together, wherever you are, if it's safe to do. So now, if you're driving, please don't do this. So let your eyes soften or take a deep breath in through your nose and slowly out through your mouth. Again, inhale. Feel your ribs expand. And exhale. Release something you don't need. One more time. A full breath in and then a gentle breath out. That was rest right there. You didn't have to go anywhere. You just had to come back to yourself. And that really does help. And it really helps with your focus. It helps with your healing. It helps with pain. So as you move through your next week, I invite you to look for the quiet spaces between the steps that you may take. Whatever it is that you're doing, is schedule your rest. Schedule it. Because if it's not scheduled, it doesn't happen. Protect it. Protect that time. Honor that time. It's not a reward, but it's a vital part of your wholeness. It's a part of who you are, a part of getting better. Because in the pause, that's when we reconnect. We reconnect with ourselves so that later on we can reconnect or connect with other people. In the stillness is where we grow. And when we rest, we remember who we are beyond any doing. I want to thank you for joining me for this conversation on Soul Talk. I know that can be a really difficult thing to really comprehend or think about. Most of us think that rest is just sleep. Well, we have to have those times during the day to rest. So again, thank you for joining me today. I'm Marybeth Hrim, and I hope you find space to rest, not just today, but often, every single day. Until next time, may you move with intention and may you cherish the pause.